Hey guys, Matt Numrich here. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover what I call the simple takedown. I have nothing against single leg takedowns, double leg takedowns. They are all great within their own right. Obviously judo has a bunch of kind of takedowns that we can go ahead and throw on in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to simplify things, and I'm going to talk about why I love this takedown in very, very specific terms here. If I have Casey going ahead, and he's going to back up right to our little kind of makeshift crash pad right here. When we talk about any kind of takedowns, the one thing that I always want to keep in mind is that when I take someone down, what am I also doing to myself? And unfortunately, a lot of takedowns will go ahead and put you down on the ground as well, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially when we talk about street fighting, guys. We're talking about being taken down to asphalt, concrete, or other kind of gravel surfaces. And obviously when we get down the ground, now we have to ground fight, right? And as I've talked about before in so many other videos, I have nothing against ground fighting. The thing is that what we want to do is from a self-defense standpoint, we want to get out of the situation. We want to escape out of the situation. And the simple takedown does this one thing that a lot of other takedowns just don't. They go ahead and they keep us standing, especially when you compare them against the single leg takedowns and the double leg takedowns. This is how we go ahead and perform this. If I have Casey set up right here, there are a couple steps that I really want to make sure that we pay attention to. The first thing is the placement of our foot. When we come on in here, we want to make sure that our foot steps deeply right in between the person's feet right here. So as I do that, this is the stance that I want to take right here. Second thing we need to do is we need to pay attention to our own elevation. We do not want to be high, we want to be low. And the reason we want to do that is for the next step is that our shoulder right here wants to go ahead and dive right into the person's belly button. So far we have our front foot stepping on in. We want to go ahead and get in between his feet. Next thing is we want to make sure that we are low. Next thing is we want to make sure that our shoulder is right in the person's belly button. Now, once we have this all set up, this is a great position where now we can perform a nice little takedown. We want to tuck right under the person by their legs and the back of their knees. Why? Well, obviously their knees are a natural bending point, and we're going to take advantage of that. So as I do that, the foot's in place, my elevation's low, my shoulder is right in the old belly button right there. My hands are right behind the person's knee. Now, this is where all the magic happens. There needs to be a push and a pull. It's going to be a push with my upper body and a pull with my hands. If you do this correctly, the person's legs should be going ahead and lifted up off the ground, and that person's going to be dumped right on their backside right here, and that's what we want. But more importantly, we remain standing. So as we do this right here, this goes low right in here. I'm going to push and I'm going to pull just like this. That's what I want right there. We're going to go ahead and get Casey right back up. We're going to do the exact same thing here once again. Now, all steps are very, very important because each one of them plays a very, very important point. Let's go over these real quick. The first thing is the placement of my foot. My foot is right between Casey's feet. So if I put Casey right in the exact same position again, if I go ahead and I pull up short, I'm not going to have the leverage. That's why it's so important to make sure that this foot is under his center of gravity. So when I step in, I like to go ahead and make sure that my feet, or my foot I should say, aligns with his feet. I don't want to be backed up right here, and obviously I can't go too far in back of him for obvious reasons. I'm not going to be able to get that deep right there. So what I want to do is make sure that my foot is even with his feet. Next thing is I want to make sure that I'm low. Comes again right to leverage, right? If I go ahead and I stand up on the person right here, I'm not going to have the leverage to go ahead and really pick him up off of his feet. Third thing is position of my shoulder is very important because this is going to be punching right down in the center of gravity, right here through a center line, and that's what I want. So as I go here, I get low, this shoulder's right in the belly button right here. Hands are behind the knees, natural bending point. Now I'm all set to go ahead and put in the takedown, which once again, the ingredients are a push and a pull of the hands right here. So let's go ahead and do this really slow once again. Step one, step two, getting low. Step three, shoulder into the belly button. Step four is the push and pull. Just right here is all we're doing. Let's go ahead, we're gonna do a little bit faster kind of a speed right here after we kind of rearrange our pads right here. So if I go ahead and I have Casey Now, the only thing I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add, and this is just personal preference right here, I like to add a little bit of a high line fake. I want all his attention going up high so I can go ahead and go low. That's what I want, and that's the point of that right here. If I do not do that, then that means I got to sneak in getting really low without him reacting, and that's mostly unlikely, let's just say that. So if we go ahead and we fake the high line, that's going to create the kind of diversion so we can go ahead and get in place right there and set on up. So if I do that, I fake, get all my ingredients in, here's the push and pull. Just like that. Good. Let's do it one more time. A little bit faster. All these little pieces need to be in place to really have this be pulled off in a very, very efficient and very, very effective manner right here. And again, and I can go ahead and remain standing. That is a huge point of this takedown. So go ahead and try each step. Make sure you have each step happening chronologically. Each step serves a purpose. Have fun with this one.